Hey guys, welcome to Sledder Series. I'm Dave Norona, and today we're going to talk about the Klim Avalanche Airbag Pack. Now, Klim makes two Avalanche Airbag packs. They make the Aspect 16, which I have here, and they also make the Atlas 26-liter pack. There are some little subtle differences in the packs itself, but really the biggest difference is you get 16 liters in the Aspect 16, and you get 26 liters in the Atlas 26. The reason why I have both is I do a ton of snowmobiling, but I also do a lot of sled skiing and sled ski touring or touring off my machine where I need a little bit more room, and that's why I use both. But today we're going to talk just about the Aspect 16 and why it's my #1 go-to pack for snowmobiling. First and foremost, you can see on the front of the pack that it has this awesome sort of protection area that's flat, and it really makes this pack almost feel like a vest without all the added bulk of a vest. So I really love that about it. It's got the trigger right here, and I will say, you know, triggers on airbag packs always initially came on the left side of the pack, and the reason for this is people are right-handed, the majority of people, and then with snowmobiling, people were like, hey man, I want to be able to ride out of an avalanche if I get caught and then pull my trigger, so I don't want to take my right hand off, I want to take my left hand. So the triggers started to come out on the right side. Most packs nowadays you can put on either side. This is all great in theory. However, I always tell people, if you think that you're going to be involved in a big avalanche and you're going to take one hand off the handlebar while you're out running it and pull your airbag, the best way to describe that is if you dirt bike, go to the motocross track, go through the whoops at third gear pin and try to take your hands off the handlebar and pull an avalanche pack. You just won't do it, which is why today we still find 25% of victims who were fatally injured in an avalanche, they were wearing an avalanche backpack and they didn't pull it. So there's a whole series of events that can happen if they didn't pull it fast enough, or they thought it wasn't going to be a big avalanche and they didn't pull it, and then it turned out to be so big that then they couldn't pull it. So there's lots of variables in there. The #1 thing to remember is if you ever feel any woofing, when you're riding, things falling out from you, you start moving, always set off your avalanche airbag pack first and then try to outrun or maneuver yourself out of the slide. If it turns out that it's not very big and you end up cruising out, that's a good thing. Probably a good time to head out of the mountains and sort of rethink of where you are that day. But always pull it to be sure instead of waiting, because if you wait, you might not get a second chance. So that's much more important where you prefer than where you prefer your handle. What I love about this pack is that it's centralized, so it doesn't matter if it's on the left or the right. I feel that I can pull it with either one of my hands in a panic situation, which getting involved in an avalanche is just that. As you can see, I also have my Baofeng radio. That mic runs right through the pack and then out front here, so it's really easy and accessible. And I also have my Zoleo satellite communicator right on front here. It's carabiner. This is a universal mount that Zoleo has come up with, and it just slides onto the pack. It stays there with no problem at all, but like I said, I backed it up with this carabiner. So very clean, very easy up front, something that I really love about this pack, and also that it's very lightweight. I like to keep all the weight off my back and put the majority of stuff on my snowmobile, and then carry just the important things that I need in this pack. So we're going to go through that now. The first thing is that it has this awesome goggle pocket right up here. So I use a goggle sock here just to make sure that it's extra, no scratches on the lens. But this pocket is lined. It comes with a goggle wipe included, which is really cool. And they just stay up there. Goggles don't weigh very much. And I've destroyed goggles by putting them in my tunnel bag from bouncing around stuff. Here they just don't move, and it's great that they have a spot for that. The pack also comes with a tool kit, which is really cool. You can use it for anything that you want. Again, I keep weight out of there, so if I use this as a toolkit or anything, it's a great thing that I can put in my tunnel bag. But really cool that the bag actually comes with that. Like I said, I only keep essentials here. I keep Mountain Lab Gear 1800 lumen light up here. Again, I don't want that jostling around in my tunnel bag, so because it doesn't move much in here, that's why I keep it in my backpack. And I also keep a spare set of batteries for this pack when we'll talk about the Alpride AVI system that's in it. The next functionality of it is if we take these two buckles off, we have access to the red zippers, which are our avalanche gear. So our avalanche gear sits right here. Shovel and probe, really easy access. I love what they've done with the red zips. That's emergency. That's where you're going to keep your emergency gear. And they've also done a great job here of including emergency numbers and actually how to perform a search. Of course, it's always important not just to have this gear, but to know how to use it and practice with it. But when the crap hits the fan, sometimes things go AWOL and people forget things. It's so nice that they've labeled it out here of things to do. First, set off your Zoleo as an SOS, then do beacon search and get into an organized fashion. Then we work with probes and shovels to extract the person who's caught in an avalanche. So it's all laid out here, which I think makes sense. And again, I think they've done a great job on that. And moving to the main body of the pack, what I love about it is that it actually has a full sort of coffin style system here. So this is actually where I keep my lunch. I also keep my Baofeng radio, which again runs through under the airbag and right to the left side of my pack. And it also is where the capacitor is housed, which is right here. And the capacitor is not a battery and it's not a canister, it's a capacitor. So basically you charge this with a USB port and you just charge it overnight, and then when you turn it on, as I've just done, it's got 3 lights here that'll illuminate, and there's a green, yellow, or red. If you turn it on and it's yellow, it means that it's probably there'll be a charge in there, but you want to charge it right away. If it's red, it does need a charge. So you can check that the night before you go riding. If it's green, you're good to go. Now, there is a spot here for 2 AA batteries right in the pack, and what that does is they do not set off the AVI pack. They charge the capacitor. So say you didn't charge it overnight and you get to the hill and you turn it on and it's yellow. Well, now those 2 batteries will go into effect and actually charge the system. Okay, one of the cool things that happened to me, not so cool, but I got stuck and I was rallying through the trees trying to pin and wiggle out of there, and my handle got hooked on my bar because I was basically vertical, and I set off my pack accidentally. So what I did is I took my pack off, put batteries in here, and then I closed it, shut it down, put batteries in, closed it all up, put the airbag back in, and then the time that it took me to do that and then dig out my snowmobile and get all sorted again, which was easily probably 40 minutes. It was a super deep day. The pack was actually charged and green again. So that's very, very cool. So again, I carry spare batteries just in case. The capacitor won't suck the batteries out. It only is on if it needs it. And but I always keep 2 spare just in case. So it's something very cool about this Alpride system that Klim has gone with, and for good reason. It just works so well. So the system is on now, as you can see, with the green light, and we'll leave it on. One of the tips I can tell when you get an avalanche backpack, if you're new to this one or anyone out there, is the first thing that you should do is actually take the airbag out. Not a lot of people show you how to do this, but we're going to go do it. This has Velcro here and a zipper in where your airbag is. So what we're going to do is we're going to unzip it all the way, and you'll see your airbag will come out. Get rid of this, and it'll show you actually how to fold your airbag. Now you'll see there'll be crease lines in here and all that, but it gives you an idea of how your airbag is packed in the bag. So you can undo it and then fold it back up using the creases in the bag, and then you know how to do it when you set it off for the first time. The other advantage of this is, say you're out on a really, really wet day, I mean, you come in and water has gotten into your pack, or your pack's really wet, you can actually take the airbag and fold it out in the hotel room or at home, and it dries out, and then fold it back in, just like so, and back into the pack. And all this is going to do is then you take your zipper, closes it right up, and there we go. The pack is set and ready. So what we're going to do is put the pack on now. Talk a little bit about in the morning when you're getting ready to go. So as you can see, this pack folds on, has a nice zipper right here that's really easy to engage. I just use it's so stiff that you can kind of put your hands right in there. Zip it up. Nice buckle. And you can see what I mean is how well the protection is in the front here, but how it keeps everything together. And again, it has that sort of vest feeling that it keeps it centered on your body. And I think the one thing I love about the pack is how it does that. And then of course using using the bottom strap. And what Klim has done really smart is they've actually put the crotch strap right in the middle, so it's really easy to grab, and then close that up and make sure it's all snug. So super easy to get this pack dialed on your waist, and it's nice and comfortable, and that's really what you want. You have great mobility. Now, one of the things with the pull trigger is it has this band here. All you do is pull it out, and now it's armed, and as you can see, I can use my right hand or my left hand to set off the airbag. Now, if you're involved in an avalanche, or you feel any whoomphing or moving, or you're in the trees, you see something happen, even if you're riding on your buddy and you see something moving, and you see them getting trapped in it, you should also just So you can see how quickly and easily it is to set off the airbag. This provides 150 liters. Basically how airbags work is inverse segregation, which is a fancy word of telling you that if you shake a tin of nuts, the smaller ones go to the bottom and the bigger nuts float up to the top. This makes you bigger and therefore allows you to float on top of the snow and avalanche debris as smaller things go below. So very, very cool. I still have great visibility. I can ski, I can ride out of something, and that's also something that's really important to me. I've been using airbag packs for over 15 years, and that's something I really look for, as opposed to being encased by something that doesn't allow you to actually have mobility or move around or ski out of something or snowmobile out of something. And as you can see with this pack, I can do both those things. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to take the pack off very easily to reset it. So to reset the airbag, all you're going to do, guys, is push that button in and release the air out of the airbag. And it's easiest to do this on a flat surface. You can do it on the snow, on your snowmobile, or at home or in the hotel on the bed or a table. Really easy to do that. Get all the air out as much as you can. And then you're just going to fold the airbag properly back in the way it was on both sides, and then fold it right into the bag. And then you're going to reclose the zipper, the tearaway zipper. And there you go. And as you can see, guys, the pack's all back together, and now all we're gonna have to do is recharge the pack. And like I said, you can do that with the 2 AA batteries in anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes. You can wall charge it with the USB port in about 20 to 25 minutes, or you can also use a power pack, and that'll also take anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes to do so. So that's a little bit about the Aspect 16 Klim Alpride Avalanche Backpack. Of course, you can check this out at klim.com or finer snowmobile retailers near you. Don't wait on these bags. They will sell out, so now's the time to get into the shops, try them on, pick the best one for you. We'll see you out in the backcountry.